Betwabu, beautiful people. Betwabu. Top of the day. All right, beautiful people. It is Thursday, December the 19th, 2019, day 23, year 2. We are reading Exodus 17, 18, and 19. And today, the people going to get a little bit of water from the rock because they thirsty. Make myself a note. Okay. So let's get started here right away. I need my pen. Okay. Exodus chapter 17. And all the congregation of the children of Yisrael journeyed from the wilderness of Sin after their journeys, according to the commandments of Yahuwah, and pitched in Rephidim, and there was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore the people did chide with Massa, and said, Give us water that we may drink. And Massa said unto them, Why chide ye with me? Wherefore do ye tempt ye Yahuwah? And the people thirst there for water. And the people murmured against Massa, and said, Wherefore is this that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst? Like they are already complaining. Already. We ain't get out of Egypt a good week yet. Y'all already... Give it a second. Y'all ain't gonna die. And Massa cried unto Yahuwah, saying, What shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me. And Yahuwah said unto Massa, Go on before the people, and take with thee the elders of Yisrael and thy rod wherewith thou smotest the river, and take in thy hand wherein thou smotest the river, take in thy hand and go. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Massa did so in the sight of the elders of Yisrael. Remember, this time he did tell him he said, Smite the rock. Ye shall smite the rock. Okay? Betwabu, Betwabu, Alicia. There shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Massa did so in the sight of the elders of Yisrael. And he called the name of the place Massa, and he called the name of the place Massa. That actually says Massa. I was looking, I was like, wait, hold on. They called the name of the place Moses. I had to stop. It actually has Massa here. Okay. And he called the name of the place Massa and Meribah, because the chiding of the children of Yisrael, and because they tempted Yahuwah, saying, Is Yahuwah among us or not? Like, bruh. y'all tripping. Then came Amalek and fought with Yisrael in Rephidim. And Massa said unto Joshua, Choose us out men, and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of Yahuwah in my hand. So Joshua did as Massa had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Massa, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass, when Massa held up his hand, that Yisrael prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Massa's hands were heavy, and they took the stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, one on one side and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And Yahuwah said unto Massa, Write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Massa built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah Nisi. I'm sure that's not what it said, but that's what we know it to be here in the KJV. I'm going to find what that actually says, and I'm going to make the correction in my Bible. Like, by the time we go through the next time, hopefully, I may not have made all the corrections, but I'm going through scratching out stuff, putting in what it's supposed to say, and, For he said, because Yahuwah has sworn that Yahuwah will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Chapter 18 of Exodus. When Jethro, the priest of Midian, Massa's father-in-law, heard all that Yahuwah had done for Massa and for Yisulili his people, and that Yahuwah had brought Yisulili out of Egypt, then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back, and her 2 sons, of which the name of one was Gershom, for he said, I have been an alien in a strange land. Here's something to remember, something that I've learned a couple days ago, and so now when I see it, I'm still working on the pronunciations of the right names. In our original Bantu languages, remember there are a bunch of different dialects in Bantu because it's a lot of different tribes and stuff. It all sounds similar and they all follow the same rules. So in Bantu languages, if it's a consonant on the end of the word, it's not pronounced, okay? So if it's a vowel, remember, you pronounce it. But if it's a consonant, it's silent. And that's with every single word, you know? So, and as I was listening, I was like, oh, yeah, they're not pronouncing, at least the one that I see that have subtitles, they're not pronouncing the consonants on the end. If they're speaking Bantu languages, it's a lot of different dialects like Osa. I'm working on my click, y'all, my tongue click. Okay, so in Bantu languages, when words start with the X, it's not the sound here in like English or whatever. It's more like it's that tongue click. So if you see an X, you know they have a Xhosa tribe. I'm trying to speed it up, closer, but it's spelled Xhosa. And actually, if you go to Google Translate, the only Bantu language in there that you have that'll give you, I would say I'm gonna just say closer, but it's the tongue click. Closer in Google Translate is probably the best translator of Bantu languages. They have Zulu in there, but those are the only 2 I would say use. If you see Afrikaans or Afrikaner, that is not our people. That is the white people that were born in Africa. And I don't mean to sound racist, but there's a separation there between the people. So you have Africans who are there who are white skinned, but they are not Africans in the terms of like the black people. They may have been born in that land because their ancestors came there. They call them Afrikaans, and it's like 2 K's or 2 N's, or Afrikaners. It's like the Afrikaans and the Afrikaners language. Those are the white people who migrated to the land. They're not native to the land. Their ancestors migrated there. So of course they say, oh, I was born here. Yeah, you were born here because your ancestors migrated here. So that's the language they speak, and it is not Bantu. There are a lot of differences that I found. I was like, oh, so when I was doing something and somebody, because I made a couple contacts with people that are there in Africa, right? So while I'm working on this stuff, and they said the best way really to learn the Bantu language is really, and some of us may not have the ability to go now. So if you can reach out to people and they can tell you, they said it's a lot different from actually being submerged in the culture and actually hearing the language on a daily basis, so you get the gist of it. Because they say when you translate it word for word, it doesn't always give the proper meaning unless you're someone that actually knows the language and you're there, because they could translate it one way but give it a different meaning. But if you're not there, like you don't understand like the culture and everything, you may get it wrong. Although you translated it word for word, it still may not make sense, because even when you translate it, sometimes like the way the English we read from left to right. And even when you translate it, it seems like words are out of place, so, but if you've been there and you've been submerged, or if you are, we're native to the land, but we were never taught it because we were taken from the land, so we don't know. We were never taught our mother tongue, so I'm listening to as much of it as I can, the music and everything, just to kind of submerge myself as much as I can while I'm doing some research and proper translation of stuff, and making sure I understand, make sure I line up, because there is a lot that as I'm going back through and I'm looking, I was like, oh my gosh, it doesn't say that. It says that, but that's not what it means in the original Bantu language. I got it started. Your keys are right there.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And your locks are right there. I went to the mailbox. They're right there. That other package is yours too.
Okay.
I don't know what that is, but yeah, it's all there.
Thank you for doing that for me.
You're welcome. It's cold out there too, so.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, I froze my patooties off when I went out there.
Kid, that ain't cold to us. That's warm. They say that Christmas supposed to be like 60-something degrees.
Mm.
All right, I'll call you after your thing with you, all right?
Okay,
Love
cool.
you, man.
Love you too. What about the meeting with Wanda?
I'm going up there. I got to meet with Wanda and Danielle today.
Okay, cool.
So I'll call you before I go.
Okay.
All right.
All right. All right, bye. So if you get familiar with it, it makes a lot more sense. And I said all that to say, so if you go, don't be fooled by Google Translate when you see like Afrikaners or some other African name up there. Only use closer or closer. I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. Anytime you see X, it's the tongue click. It's the tongue clicking clan, the closer clan. So that's like closer. It seemed to me that closer and Zulu are the only ones that give the proper translation, and they run hand in hand. Every other thing, anything else that you see from Africa, or like Yoruba and stuff, it is different. So, and I actually went through and I was checking. I was like, oh shoot, so but yeah, stay away from the Afrikaners translation or Afrikaans. Stay away. That's why some stuff wasn't making sense to me. So I reached out to somebody that's actually there. They said, oh yeah, and they started explaining, which made sense because I had heard something that I had looked at not too long before then, and people were talking. Now it was about some of the white people that were over there and how they were living and stuff. And I kept hearing them say the Afrikaners, and stuff like that. I was like, oh, so that's what that was, and it made sense. Okay, so I said all that to say, as you begin to understand, even word by word, things begin to make a little more sense. And I really want to find a Bible it's going to be hard. And people know that, here's what's crazy. People know we're looking for this stuff. I don't know, maybe it's just like the algorithm in Google or the algorithm that they set in Amazon. But I've noticed even a book that has a lot of the Bantu heritage that was written down, people are looking for it because that joker has gone up from like $13 to $900. It's ridiculous. So people are looking and the prices are going up, and I think that's so unfair. Granted, supply and demand, but that's disgusting to me. If maybe they said it in, you got more searches. Oh, this is really hot right now, so let's increase the price on this, and it really pisses me off because I ain't paying $900 for that darn book. So I'm looking at other places right now to try and find it. Maybe, I might come across it at a thrift store or something. Somebody just discarded it, not even knowing what it is. I'm like, oh man, Father, let me find this book. It has a lot of our heritage and things that were actually tracked, during the time periods when we came over here, and things that they recorded about us when we got over here and when we mixed in with the actual natives here, because the natives here that are indigenous to America, the natives that look just like us, it was hard to tell us apart from them, so we began to mix with them as well, But there it goes into a lot of detail how you can tell who was American Indian and who was from the Congo Basin. We even named stuff different. So those who are indigenous to this land, American Indians who are black, when they named stuff, they named it like in nature terms or after animals like great eagle, great white eagle and stuff like that. But they noticed when Bantus named something, it was more of a verb. Like, remember when Jacob wrestled with the angel, call it Peniel, but it's pronounced something else, one who wrestled with Yah, so when we named something that had action meanings to it, to where when Native Americans named something, it was named after nature or animal, stuff like that. And they said they noticed that everywhere that they took us. And when we mix, and that's one of the ways they could tell us apart, is how we name stuff, So I was like, oh, that is freaking awesome. Things that are obvious, but not so obvious until somebody points it out to you and you can start really looking at stuff. And a lot of things that were named here, even in Louisiana, they have Congo Square, because there were a lot of Congolese people, a lot of people from the Congo who were taken to Louisiana, and on Sundays they were given a day off, so they would meet at a place where they called Congo Square. And they actually recently, I want to say it was back in 2015, that there was something passed where they renamed it the original name, the Congo Square, for the slaves who actually named it that. I'm like, that's awesome. If you go through and you can read on some of the stuff, they say, oh, this is the birthplace of jazz. Yes, it was. But it was also the place where all the Congolese people, they came together and they hung out, and they called it the Congo Square. They called it the Congo Square because these are people that go to the Congo Square. That's all our people at, and they were slaves. And like, when I was really paying attention to my DNA test, I'm like, I am truly really of the people who were stolen from another land. When I was looking at it, I was like, there is no, and it shocked me for a second, because surely I thought, but I wasn't paying attention. I was like, there is no American blood in my body. I'm mixed with some other things, but there is no American blood in my body. I am truly of those who were stolen from another land. Like, we do not belong here. We're here, but we do not belong here. We are truly of the ones that were stolen. So I think that's something we all should do, kind of. I think we need that, I'm about to get all teary-eyed and stuff. So, but I think that's truly something we need. I'm going to post today. There was a couple different ones that I looked into, and there's a couple people. Yeah, some of the DNA companies, they take your information, they sell it and all that stuff. If you care about that, okay, then you may not want to go with Ancestry or 23andMe. Yeah, I did Ancestry before I knew all that, but there's another one that we just did. We literally just sent off. And it's $49. You can get it from Amazon. It's called MyHeritage DNA. They don't sell your results, and they keep it completely private. And it's a lot cheaper than all the other ones, and their results are detailed to a T. I'm like, oh my gosh, excuse me. So we just actually sent it off yesterday, and it takes 4 to 6 weeks to come back, and you got to register, and you can log on and see the results when they're updated and posted. So I want to take those and compare them to what I got on Ancestry and just kind of look at some stuff. But it helps to bring some closure, some understanding to some things. And once you begin to realize the people who you are from, you start realizing some things about your life. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, and you'll realize our people who are still there in Africa, certain things, the different tribes that they had, that they some of the people that I talk with that are actually in Africa now, they said, we know you guys are over there. Mike Tyson talked about it. Mike Tyson is a Congolese. He's from the Congo Basin, but they said they can look at us and they can tell who is them, like people who are like doing videos and stuff that they can actually see or that are out there. They can tell by looking at them, that's us. She belongs over here, that's us. And like they're doing videos and stuff. It's time for our brothers and sisters to come home. I'm like, boy, y'all know this is prophecy like mug, because it is that time. I posted a video yesterday, so I'm keeping more update with some of the things that are actually going on, things that are going on behind the scenes, what they're keeping everybody busy with here and not paying attention. Like, oh my gosh, y'all, let me finish this reading. Like, I'll post some stuff. Okay, what else? I was in 18. Hold on. I just kind of got real sidetracked right there, but I'm telling y'all, I'll post it. Just just be looking. Okay, hold on. I don't want to get too far off. Okay, I just go verse 10, chapter 18, Exodus. And Jethro said, blessed be Yah, who have delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who have delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that Yahuwah is greater than all gods, for in the thing wherein they dwelt proudly, he was above them. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices for Yah. And Aaron came, and all the elders of Yisrael, to eat bread with Massa's father-in-law before Yahuwah. And it came to pass on the morrow that Massa set to judge the people, and the people stood by Massa from the morning until the evening. And when Masa's father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, "What is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning unto evening?" And Massa said unto his father-in-law, "Because the people came unto me to inquire of Yahuwah. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them to know the statutes of Yahuwah and his laws." And Massa's father-in-law said unto him, "The thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away both thou and this people that is with thee. For this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone. Hearken now unto my voice, and I will give thee some counsel, and Yahuwah shall be with thee. Be thou for the people to Godward, that thou mayest bring the causes unto Yahuwah. And thou shalt teach them the ordinances and laws, and thou shalt show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear Yahuwah, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be the rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, and rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And let them judge the people at all seasons. And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So it shall be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee." So he was pretty much saying, if you didn't catch that, he said, listen, you got all these people. If you sit here and judge all these cases alone, you will surely wear yourself out. He said, so pick you able men full of the spirit of Yah, who are not able to be bribed, full of wisdom, strong, know the laws of Yah. He said, and set them, use them as judges with you. Let them help you counsel the people. And they say, and if it's a matter too great that they cannot judge, then let it come to you. That way you have some help, and everything, can flow smoothly. Essentially, that's what his father-in-law said. Verse 23, if thou shalt do this thing, and Yahuwah command thee so, then thou shalt be able to endure, and all this people shall also go to their place in peace. So Massa hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he had said. And Massa chose able men out of Yisrael, and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. And they judged the people at all seasons. The hard causes they brought unto Massa, but every small matter they judged themselves. And Massa let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way into his own land. Last chapter for the day, Exodus chapter 19. In the 3rd month, when the children of Yisrael were going forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Yisrael camped before the mount. And Massa went up to Yahuwah, and Yahuwah called him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say unto the house of Jacobah, and tell the children of Yisrael, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak until the children of Yisrael. And Massa came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which Yahuwah commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, All that Yahuwah has spoken we will do. And Massa returned the words of the people unto Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said unto Massa, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Massa told the words of the people unto Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said unto Massa, Go unto the people, and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the 3rd day. For the 3rd day Yahuwah will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves, that ye not go up into the mount, nor touch the border of it. Whosoever touches the mount shall surely be put to death. And there shall not a hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned or shot through. Whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, they shall come upon the mount. So Massa went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives, meaning do not have relations with your wives, right? And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that were in the camp trembled. And Massa brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with Yah, and stood at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because Yahuwah descended. All right, let me tell you something. Have a great day. Where is your coat?
Spring breaker.
Okay. Love you. Lock my door, please. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because Yahuwah descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Massa spake, and Yahuwah answered him by a voice. And Yahuwah came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount, and Yahuwah called Massa up to the top of the mount, and Massa went up. And Yahuwah said unto Massa, go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto Yahuwah to gaze, and many of them perish. And lest the priests also, which come near to Yahuwah, sanctify themselves, lest Yahuwah break forth upon them. And Massa said unto Yahuwah, the people cannot come unto the Mount Sinai, for thou chargest us, saying, set the bounds about the mount and sanctify it. And Yahuwah said unto him, away, get down, and thou shalt not come up. And thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee, but let not the priests and the people break through to come up unto Yahuwah, lest he break forth upon them. So Massa went down unto the people and spake unto them. He was like, we told him already. He said, you better go tell them again, because they're surely going to come up here. They're getting ready to break through. He said, so you better go down there now and tell them, do not come up. Only you and Aaron. So that's our reading for today, beautiful people. We read Exodus 17, 18, and 19. It is Thursday, December the 19th, 2019, day 23, year 2 of reading through the Holy Scriptures. All right, and we only read through the Old Testament because we've been New Testamented to death. We all know it's there, but nobody ever reads what's back here. All right, so that's what we're doing, so we get familiar with it. All right, y'all, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get out of here. I'm gonna post that link for the I'm gonna just post the Amazon link. I'll post a link for the actual web page of the company, but you can get it on Amazon. I'll post them both. I'll post like the link for the company, and then like, I don't know, you can order directly from the company, or you can go to Amazon to get it, but I'll put them both. All right, so with that being said, may Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and lift his countenance upon us and be gracious unto us. And may he give us his salama, or his shalom, his peace in all that concerns us. He cares about all that we care about. And may he continue to keep us as we keep his commands. So with that being said, beautiful people, I love you, and I will see you in the morning. Peace.